first thing that I'd like to ask you is, could you tell us about yourself and your journey to this point?
Can I start firstly by thanking you for inviting me to join you today to mark this important occasion. Now, I have the privilege of working for an organisation called Advocates for International Development, or A4ID, as it's also known, where I have been for the past 12 years or so. Now, in response to your question, ever since I can remember, and indeed still now, my career of choice would have been to be an astronaut. But since I failed to convince NASA to choose me on one of their missions, indeed, even invite me for interview for that matter, I've been content to work in other areas which I've been passionate about. I've always had immense respect for the law. Indeed, my very first brush with the law was police when I was 12 years old. And at that point, I was awarded a prize for poetry. I wrote a poem entitled My Future, and the Metropolitan Police gave me a prize for entering it into their competition. Seriously, though, I have been, in one way or another, involved with the UK criminal justice system, how it operates, and importantly, how justice and the rule of law are applied. At my job at A4ID, with its mission of eradicating poverty, it was an amazing opportunity to combine two areas of passion, and so far, I've not lived to regret it. I have the privilege of working alongside inspirational lawyers who are at the top of their game and who, like me, are passionate about creating a world where the rule of law prevails and justice is not only done, but seen to be done.
What does the Day of International Criminal Justice mean to you?
Well, it means, I suppose, honouring the importance of seeking justice for victims of serious crimes, such as war crimes, crimes of genocide, crimes of aggression, and crimes against humanity. It serves as a reminder of the ongoing efforts to prosecute and hold individuals accountable for grave human rights abuses and atrocities committed in various parts of the world, now very close to home in Ukraine. To me, it's also a reminder of the international community's commitment for combating impunity and holding individuals accountable for their actions. So I suppose it's about accountability, justice, the rule of law, in addressing crimes that shock the conscience of humanity. For me, it also highlights the need for cooperation amongst nations, as well as the responsibility of states to support international justice mechanisms and uphold their commitments to justice and accountability. I suppose ultimately for me, the Day of International Criminal Justice symbolises the global community's collective efforts via, for instance, the ICC, the International Criminal Court, to fight against impunity, seek justice for victims, and ultimately to promote a more just and peaceful world.
Could you tell us about the different aspects of your work?
Advocates for International Development is a global non-profit whose vision is the eradication of poverty using the law and lawyers in doing so. A4ID stands at the intersection of law and development. It harnesses the power of the legal profession to tackle global issues and promote sustainable development. In other words, we provide legal advice through our law firm and corporate partners comprising international Magic Circle, Silver Circle law firms to development organizations, civil society organizations like the UN, World Bank, and some organizations, mainly in the Global South, who provide their legal expertise pro bono for free. We have a network of over 50,000 lawyers working with us across the globe and providing pro bono legal expertise to over 900 non-government organizations who in turn work with individuals and communities who need it most. So far, we've worked in 130 countries. We also provide technical expertise by providing training, support, as well as developing strategic partnerships which build on the principles of the rule of law. For instance, our work in Malawi has resulted in the abolition of the death penalty. And we've also provided support by providing technical expertise in war crimes, crimes of aggression, genocide, and crimes against humanity to countries ravaged by war. Our main office space is in London, but we also have offices in Kenya, Rwanda, and Delhi. Now, the UN Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, are at the very heart of what we do. So all our work reflects one or more of the goals. For me, personally, SDG 17, fostering partnerships, is perhaps the most important of the goals. Last month, we launched our SDG legal initiative, which is a call to action to the entire global legal profession to work on the achievement on the SDGs from now until 2030. We've developed a platform for lawyers everywhere to contribute their time, knowledge, and skills in working together on this agenda. Imagine the transformative potential of bringing together skilled lawyers and development organizations uniting in achieving this aim. So, for all the lawyers out there, join us. Do something wonderful, because as a profession, the legal community has what it takes to make that tangible difference, to influence, to problem solve, and to bring about significant change, which affects the lives of millions. So all in all, that's A4ID in a nutshell.
How crucial are justice and the rule of law going to be in relation to humanity's survival?
In my view, justice and the rule of law are fundamental pillars for the survival and well-being of humanity. They play a crucial role in maintaining social order, promoting fairness, protecting human rights, and fostering peace and stability in societies. For instance, upholding human rights, justice and the rule of law ensure that individuals are treated with dignity and that their fundamental rights and freedoms are protected. By providing a legal framework that safeguards human rights, societies can create an environment that nurtures equality, justice, and inclusivity. Without justice and without the rule of law, I believe there's a risk of human rights abuses and discrimination leading to social injustice, unrest, and the erosion of trust within communities. Sustainable development is another area of focus where justice and the rule of law are crucial for sustainable development. They provide a transparent, predictable, and stable legal framework that encourages investment, innovation, economic growth, and also social progress. The rule of law also protects property rights, ensures fair competition, safeguards contracts, and enforces regulations, all of which are essential for economic progress and for the well-being of individuals as well as communities as a whole. Justice is also essential for holding individuals accountable for their actions, especially when it comes to serious crimes and human rights abuses. By prosecuting and punishing perpetrators, justice helps deter future crimes and contributes to a culture of accountability. When people have confidence in fairness and the effectiveness of the legal system, it promotes a sense of security and encourages civil participation and strengthens the very fabric of communities. Justice and the rule of law, in my view, are vital at an international level as well. They form the foundation for a rules-based international order, enabling cooperation among nations, resolving disputes peacefully, and addressing goals, challenges collectively. So in short, they provide a framework that protects human rights, prevents conflicts, fosters sustainable development, ensures accountability, and promotes social cohesion. So in my view, justice and the rule of law are indispensable for not only humans' progress, but potentially for its very survival.
Could you give us an example of justice and the rule of law having a profound and inspirational impact in relation to humanity's survival?
I suppose one area of focus for us is Rwanda. We're working in partnership with a number of organisations there to provide legal aid where it's needed most. We launched the programme last year, which meant that I was able to visit Kigali. And whilst I was there, I visited the Genocide Memorial to pay my respects. So one example perhaps that highlights the profound impact of justice and the rule of law in relation to humanity's survival was the establishment of the International Criminal Tribunal of Rwanda following the Rwandan genocide in 1994. As we know, the Rwandan genocide was a horrific event in which an estimated 800,000 people, predominantly from the Tutsi ethnic group, were systematically slaughtered within a span of about 100 days. In the aftermath of the genocide, justice and accountability were crucial for the country to heal and to build and rebuild, and for humanity as a whole to confront the gravity of such atrocities. The International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda was established by the United Nations Security Council in November of that year, 1994, to prosecute those responsible for the genocide and for other serious crimes committed during that time in Rwanda. Its creation demonstrated a commitment to justice and the rule of law in the face of unimaginable human suffering. It demonstrated that even in the face of overwhelming violence and large-scale atrocities, justice can be pursued and the international community can come together to hold its perpetrators to account. For me, the impact of the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda extends beyond Rwanda, as it serves as an inspiration for the establishment of the International Criminal Tribunals and the development of the International Criminal Court, the ICC. It also shows how justice and the rule of law can play and have a profound and inspirational impact on humanity's survival. By pursuing accountability and ensuring that perpetrators of mass atrocities are held responsible, societies can move forward towards healing, reconciliation, and perhaps one day, even the prevention of future crimes against humanity.
Given the state of the world, do you have hope that we can still survive?
In all honesty, on some days, I think humanity is on the brink of extinction, and we are sleepwalking towards oblivion. Whilst on other days, I feel that while there are undoubtedly significant global issues that pose threats to humanity, throughout history, human beings, has faced and overcome numerous challenges. As human beings, we've demonstrated remarkable resilience, adaptability, and also the capacity for positive change. We've made advancements in various fields such as science, technology, medicine, and also made significant strides on social progress. In my view, these achievements provide reasons for optimism and for hope. International cooperation, activism, and advancement in knowledge and technology offer potential solutions, most certainly. Also, I think the younger generation, with their energy, idealism, and access to information, are playing an active role in shaping the future. They're driving social and environmental movements, advocating for change and demanding accountability from their leaders. The involvement of young people offers for me hope for a more inclusive and sustainable world. And while there are reasons for hope, it's also crucial to recognize the urgent need for action. The challenges facing humanity, such as climate change, poverty, inequality, and political tensions, require concerted efforts for individuals from governments and international bodies to do something and to make progress. Solutions require cooperation, visionary leadership, and a commitment to sustainable and inclusive development. I believe that ultimately the survival and future of the human race will depend on our collective actions and our collective decisions. By working together, leveraging our strengths and addressing global challenges with determination and foresight, I hope there is potential for a brighter and more sustainable future. But the clock is ticking.
What advice would you give to a young person who's thinking of going into the legal profession?
My advice, I suppose, would be firstly to understand your own motivation for doing so. Ask yourself, why are you interested in pursuing a legal career? Is it a genuine passion for justice, problem solving, or advocacy? I think by understanding your motivations, it would help you to make informed decisions and stay committed throughout your journey. Law encompasses various areas of specialization, such as criminal law, corporate law, human rights, environmental law, intellectual property, and so on. So my advice would be to take time to explore different fields and gain exposure to diverse legal practices. And this will help you to identify your interests, but also areas of expertise. Another thing, a solid foundation of legal knowledge obviously is crucial. So strive for academic excellence in your studies. Develop strong research, analytical and writing skills, as they are going to be essential to the legal profession. I think it's important also to supplement your academic learning with practical experience. For instance, look for internships, clerkships, or volunteer opportunities at law firms, legal clinics, or public interest organizations, or even at A4ID. Practical experience will provide valuable insights into the day-to-day realities of the legal profession and will help you to build those essential insights and skills. Increasingly, I think networking is also a vital in the legal profession. So I would advise you to attend legal events, join professional organizations, and connect with legal practitioners, professors, and alumni. Find mentors who might provide you with guidance and support as you navigate your legal career. For me, communication, both oral and written, is a prerequisite of the legal profession. So I'd advise you to hone your public speaking, negotiation, and persuasive skills. You can also do so by participating in moot court competitions, debate clubs, or public speaking events to refine your advocacy abilities. The legal field is dynamic and constantly evolving. Commit to lifelong learning and make sure that you stay updated on legal developments, case law, and legislative change. Continuing education through seminars, workshops, and specialized courses also will help you to stay ahead and adapt to the constantly, by the way, evolving landscape. Attend A4ID's Law and Development Training Program to learn about sustainable development so you can properly advise your clients. The legal profession carries, remember, a responsibility to promote justice and fairness. So always prioritize ethical conduct. Ensure that you always act in the best interest of your clients, colleagues, and the legal system. Don't forget your code. And there's no doubt that the legal profession will be demanding and will be challenging. So develop resilience, adaptability, and perseverance to overcome setbacks and obstacles. And always keep a growth mindset and learn not only from your successes, but your failures. Balancing work commitments and a personal life is crucial to your well-being and long-term success. So strive to maintain a healthy work-life balance by setting boundaries, managing your time effectively, and prioritizing above your self-care. Remember, the legal profession offers a diverse range of career paths, so stay open to opportunities that come your way and be willing to explore different avenues. Remember that the career in law requires dedication, it requires hard work, and it requires a commitment to justice and the rule of law. Of course, it can be intellectually challenging, but it's rewarding, and it's certainly highly impactful. So by staying focused, continuing to learn and grow and contributing to the pursuit of justice, you're in a position to make a positive difference in society throughout your legal career.
Is there anything that individuals can do to support justice and the strong rule of law?
I firmly believe that each and every one of us has the power to make a difference, to contribute to a more just and equitable world, even though this at first sight might seem challenging. It is, after all, through individual actions combined with the power of collaboration and partnership that we truly affect change. Our interconnected and globalized society, the challenges that we face are social, environmental, or humanitarian, and they are all, after all, demand collective action. I also believe education and awareness are crucial. I would recommend people to educate themselves, and I mean educate themselves about the legal systems in the communities in which they live, in their countries and also around the world. I think it's important to understand the principles of justice, the rule of law, and human rights. I would recommend staying informed about current legal issues and challenges. Knowledge is, after all, power, and by arming ourselves with understanding, we'll become so much better equipped to support justice and advocate for the strong rule of law. Another way is, I suppose, to volunteer your time and skills. There are numerous legal non-profit organisations like ours and charities that are doing incredible work to help vulnerable populations and protect our planet. Research and find organisations that seemed allied with your passions and your values. For instance, lawyers can volunteer their legal expertise, whether it's providing pro bono services to organisations like A4ID, offering legal advice or supporting advocacy campaigns. If you're not a lawyer, that doesn't matter. You can still lend your skills and time in other ways that will directly impact on the lives of those in need and contribute to the overall strength of justice and the rule of law. Of course, legal non-profit organisations like mine are always in need of financial support, so that's another way of doing so. So consider, for instance, making donations. Even a small donation will go a long way. But the power of individuals extends beyond financial contributions. We can all educate ourselves about the issues that matter, raise awareness amongst our communities, and advocate for change. We can use our platforms, both online and offline, to speak out against injustice and to challenge discriminatory practices and promote the rule of law. I also think it's important to recognise that supporting justice and the rule of law actually starts with our own actions in our everyday lives. It means treating with others with respect, compassion, and it means standing up against injustice, even in the face of adversity. It also means being informed citizens and engaging actively in the democratic processes that shape our societies, such as voting. So in short, the power of individuals to support justice and the strong rule of law is immense. Through our support of legal non-profits and charities, our activism and our commitment to justice in our own personal lives, you can be catalysts for positive change. Don't forget, justice, after all, is an abstract concept. It's a lived experience that requires our collective effort. So I would urge you, each and every one of you, to take action, to find an organization or a cause that resonates with you, and to make that essential difference.
How can people support your work, and where do we find more information?
That's easy. I've already covered some of this already in my answers. But what I'd say is get in touch with us. Our contact details on our website. If you're a lawyer, you can work with us pro bono and join the SDG Legal Initiative. And if you feel like making a donation, the details are also on our website. And finally, if you want to contact me directly, again, you can find my details there too.